to the RunnerX podcast, where we talk about all things running. As many runners know, it's 90% mental. So join Coach Valerie and Coach Caroline as we go through the mental side of running. Hey there, welcome back to the Tough Love Tuesday, as I like to call it. Today I want to talk to you about a concept that I have used a lot in running. It's a quote by Vince Lombardi, and I think even Jack Nicholson had talked about it. My husband's a golfer, so I've heard it before. The quote is, "It's not practice makes perfect. It's perfect practice makes perfect." What that means is that basically practicing just to check a box or just to get it done or just to say, hey, I did it, isn't what creates progress. It's basically, if you really want to get good at something, you have to practice with quality, okay? So that's why you see Valerie always doing short, small drills. She'll have you do some movement or some piece of the gait cycle a few times in place or with movement, and then you run about 5 steps. She doesn't really have you go more than about maybe 10 meters when you're in the first few weeks of the membership, because we really want you to have perfect practice. Practice. I'm trying to make sure it sounds right. So the idea basically is to have that short, focused practice. And we talked about in previous episodes about how basically doing shorter, more quality focused practice can actually help you in the long run, as opposed to longer segments where you're just trying to get the miles in, or you're just trying to do what's ever on your plan, and you're actually possibly reinforcing bad habits. Now, that being said, one of the things that we do want you to realize is we are not about taking you away from your gear or your friends or your runs, and we don't want to totally rework it in such a way where you can't enjoy running anymore. And that's the question. Why do you run? And we're going to talk about this in an episode this week. But what our goal is to help you get back to the joy of running, and actually, which is really the joy of falling, and being able to focus in on your movement and enjoying the challenge that you're getting with cardiovascular and your heart, and building up your cardio and basically your ability to reach a goal. But that goal should also be part of joy. And so that's where that idea of if you're going to practice perfectly, but as Jack Nicholson would say, if you're going to go out for 18 holes with your friends, it's not about winning, right? It should be about having fun with your friends and being present. So you could choose to do the drills on Saturday and then go out for a run with your friends on Sunday, and just go out and try to try to be present with your body, try to be present with your friends. A few times a week of just letting go and trying to enjoy the act of falling is actually going to bring you a lot more love and joy to your run. And I know that sounds really woo, but the idea is that we don't want everything to be hard. We don't want, and I hate that word. So we don't want everything to be about, I have to think about what I'm doing. I have to think about where I am. I have to think, because then you're going to lose the joy of running. So what I want you to focus on this week, if you've been following me, is focus on quality, not quantity, in your practice. And then allow yourself that time to just go out and not worry, and just be present with your friends or your family or whoever you're running with, and just enjoy the feeling of running again. And next week, after Valerie and I come back on Friday, we're going to be talking about basically why do we run, and what's really fueling it behind it, and how sometimes those thoughts can actually hinder your ability to learn. So we will talk to you next week. Thank you for joining us on the RunnerX podcast. If you'd like to know more, join us at www.runnerx.fit. And if you have additional questions that you'd like answered on the podcast, email us at support@runnerx.fit.